All right, we're out here at the show, and I'm going to go over this while it's on my mind. Otherwise, I'm going to forget and not cover it. This thing right here, construction method. Many of you folks kind of want to know how these are made. I've got other videos showing you how they're made, but then I'm also working on that build series to show you how to construct the campers on your own, or if you're wanting to buy a camper, what to look for on, and kind of know what good construction looks like. So this thing, I'm going to end up breaking it apart with a hammer. I'm going to put it next to other compared build methods, and then I'm going to beat it apart with a hammer and find where its limit is, and we'll do that on a video or something. But this is how we build our campers right here. This is what you would call a SIP, structural insulated panel. Now our campers have got a 3-inch roof. This is just a kind of a sample model. So this right here is 2-inch foam, but we actually do 3-inch, and then we taper it with our foam cutter, our wire cutter. So every single one of our roofs here on these is actually a 3-inch roof. That's 3-inch solid in the middle, right? And then when you get up to the top there, it crowns, and then that way it can shed water really well. But what it looks like over here, this is our roof, so 3-inch roof, and then this is our sidewall, which is 7/8 with your paneling. The key to this kind of manufacturing, this kind of building, is good tight friction joints, right? Every one of your joints, yeah, you use staples to hold everything together during the production process and to kind of help the strength of that joint. But the staple isn't the strength of that joint. The strength of that joint is two things specifically. You see this gap? This is the kind of gap you don't want, right? And this is just here for example's sake. You want it to be nice and tight down here. The strength of that joint is making sure that you can't get anything in between there. So this is tight, and then you have good solid glue in here, right? On the backside, wood glue, and so it's installed with pressure, and then you're also stapled. This is all stapled down, right? That way you have a good shear strength on this interior panel. And here's what the interior panel is. I'll show you over here. No, you're good. Right here, this is the wall panel. It is a wood panel with a PVC back. So this is waterproof, but once you put penetrations in it, then it becomes water resistant, right? But right there, good 1/8-inch panel. Then your ceiling right here, this is what it is, right? A wood panel, right? But this is bonded to that foam with contact cement, right? So extremely tight, extremely strong. Then over here, this is the roof panel, roof side, and it's railroaded in there, right? So you have seams. You don't let any of your seams line up. So you got a seam here, you got a seam here, right there, and then you got this sheet over top. And if I need to seam this sheet, it's going to seam over here. That way every single joint is staggered to where no joint lines up with the foam, and it doesn't line up with the bottom panel either. Don't ever let two land on top of each other, right? This is incredibly strong. Like our roof on that one, and it's light, is about 80 pounds all said and done, and it can handle over 1,200 pounds of snow load. So incredibly strong. But what you're looking at here is Dado Dan 1/2-inch ply, which is, you route out this channel once everything is made. You set in your plywood in the top. That way you don't get a thermal bridge, right? And then you screw it all the way through into your cabinet here. Now, cabinets screwed from the outside in are incredibly strong, way stronger than if I just made this and then stuck a fastener into a little bit of this wood, right? Now I'm only relying on the end of that fastener, and it's not nice and tight. Here, running this fastener in this way, you pull that material to it, and my goodness is it strong. But you got to pre-drill this side and then let it bite on this side. And we use countersink bits. Many folks refer to them as a taper bit. But really, this is our general construction. Cabinets are screwed from the outside. Now, again, the reason why we do it this way is to get rid of thermal bridging, because that's the whole point to this style roof anyway, is that you have no framing going all the way through to let thermal transfer happen to where you reduce your insulation value. So, incredibly light, strong, and highly insulated. So anyway, that's really how we do our basic construction. And this over here is just here so that it doesn't fall over. But there you go. Hopefully that makes sense. But we're gonna break this thing apart on another video at the shop. All right, now the outside, that is our how we frame them and how we build them. But let's cover the outside. The outside is one of these metals, right? One of these here. And I have other videos on how this metaling process works, so you can go and look at those. But this right here is then fastened and it's loose hung. That way you don't get this bonded tight to this surface, and then you get your twisting and your tweaking in your structure, your expansion and contraction, and it all transfers into the structure itself and breaks corner seams. You want this to be loose hung so that any of that expansion and contraction can happen in your surface skin, right? So that plays a massive role in a camper lasting, is this being loose hung. Yes, you get the oil canning, that's why you go with a flat color, but you get the oil canning in the heat where it's gonna ripple and wave. And you see that, and it doesn't look the best, and that's why a lot of manufacturers go to that solid panel. But it really saves you on the life of the unit and on your sealants, because it can move, right? You want movement. Don't try to beat it, join basic physics. Okay, you can see here, maybe not on the video, but this is all loose. That's what you want. Maybe you can see that movement. That's a loose panel, so that in the heat and in the cold and in the bouncing down the road, as the framing twists and tweaks, this surface is gonna kind of move and tweak and allow that structure to do that healthy movement. All right, so, and then same method when we build here, but like with a door, in this case, there's sometimes when it's good to bond to that, right? The door here, this is bonded, and this is on a topper. You want that, because your door is independent of the structure itself moving, right? The only place it's connected is here with staggered hinges. And so you want your door to be solid. You don't want a bunch of expansion and contraction there. But then in your roof, this is also loose hung. It's loose hung, and we corrugate to shed water, right? Then we take this, that corrugated, and again, I have other videos on this showing you. Maybe I'll link that other video over here on how we do the roof. But that's being done on one of our other models. This metal comes up to the side, obviously all the same color, but this comes up to the side, gets hung low like so, right? Then you get your Mobilastic rubber here, and then you take a rubber mallet and you beat this over, right? And you bend it, so then it bends over like this. You staple it down and then you peen it. And again, I've got that in a video more in depth up there. And then you run another line, and then you have your rail line, which looks like this up here. Okay. And again, I have that on a video, or this is actually lower, right there. And then you run your bead of sealant. So fun stuff, guys. That's basically the structure. Figured I'd cover that while we were out here. Now I'll go and run and do a video on that sub 85, because that's fully aluminum construction. So there's multiple construction methods. There's a time and a place for everything. Like this is a wood structure integrated with aluminum boxes. That right there is a fully aluminum structure with plywood walls, and it is fully insulated. So I'll jump in and do a video on this one now too. But anyway, cheers.